Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis cast, all the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. Today we're talking about big improvements coming to Facebook Live. Hello everyone, I'm Matthew McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I am joined by the lead strategist at Commexis, Phillip.
Hey.
So Phillip, Facebook has a problem.
Facebook has a lot of problems, Matt.
It does have a lot of problems, but this problem in particular is with Facebook Live. And do you want to take just perchance a guess as to what the problem is?
Not enough people use it?
Well, yes, that's certainly one of the problems. The problem in particular that I was thinking of is almost every other streaming service is better. Though I will give one notable exception. Facebook certainly has a much bigger audience than most other streaming services. But that is fine because Facebook is making some really nice improvements for those people who do and those brands that do use Facebook Live.
All five of you.
All five. Hey, let's give them some credit. All six.
All right.
No, so Facebook Live has actually been pretty popular. We've talked before in the past about some of the stats of who's been using Facebook Live back when it was the 2-year anniversary of Facebook Live a couple months ago, and they talked about how many people are using it even just for their own personal use and stuff, and then also brands and how successful it's been in terms of gaining engagement, gaining reactions, stuff like that. And that's one of the big things that they had implemented with their algorithm update in January, was saying, hey, you know, we're going to push all this stuff, and Facebook Live is going to be one of the big pushes. So as much as we jest, Facebook Live has been doing pretty well for itself, though I think my comment still stands that there are a lot of other streaming services such as YouTube Live and Twitch in particular that do a lot of things really well that Facebook sort of hasn't been doing as well recently, but some of that is coming to change. So the first big change, Phillip, is that they're going to allow cross-posting between different brand channels with Facebook Live. So what does that mean? Well, that means that, say, we have a client and they're doing a Facebook Live, and we decide, hey, we want to make sure that we help them with their Facebook Live and make sure it gets them more engagement. So we're going to share that post with our audience, and then it will be live on both pages.
Channels. Okay.
So a really great example of this was World Surf League. Facebook had been testing this out with a couple different brands and businesses. So World Surf League, they cross-posted a recent live video to their main Facebook page, a sponsors page, and one of its athletes pages. And the live video broadcast across the 3 pages resulted in more than 1.5 million views, 4,500 shares, and over 538,000 minutes of watch time.
Well, Matt, that sounds pretty rad.
Yeah. It's radical, dude. Yeah, so what I really like about this is, on one hand, this is actually something that no other platform can necessarily do. Twitch does something very similar in the sense that you can host other people who are doing live streams on your channel, but this is kind of a little bit different, obviously, because Facebook is therefore giving you even more exposure than just, you know, obviously the Twitch audience where it's only people who are on Twitch. So I think that's really interesting and really smart, and what I particularly like about it is certain brands are going to be able to take huge advantage of this. I mean, just for example, I think about how Major League Baseball has been streaming some games on Facebook in particular, so there's no reason that MLB could put it on their Facebook page, then the teams could share it there. If athletes want to share it as well, et cetera, and you can just go down the list, basically.
Do we know if there's any restrictions on who's allowed to share that? Like, if, you know, for example, if I was watching the game and I wanted to share it myself, you have to be an actual entity, or can you it has to be a business page, or?
So from what I'm understanding, and this is actually the second change that they're going to be adding, excuse me, you have to have the stream key to be allowed to share the post. So for those of you who don't know, and it's not super commonly well known unless you're used to streaming, streams have a stream key, and basically it's a mixed match of letters and numbers and stuff like that, that basically tell Facebook or the streaming service that you're using that, hey, I am sending this to you, and this is the page that it's supposed to go on. So Facebook typically will reset your stream key every single time you do a new Facebook Live. So if we did one tomorrow, it would be different than if we did one next week, whereas a lot of services have one consistent stream key. For example, Twitch always has the one for the one channel. And the reason they're doing this is because obviously you're not having a typical like channel the way that Twitch does.
Right, it's a one-time
for
event.
example. But the one thing that Facebook is adding is the ability to have a persistent stream key for those of people who, and those brands that are using
Regularly
Facebook Live very
broadcasting.
regularly. So that will actually make it easier for people to do these cross postings, because instead of having it reset and have to be sent basically 20-ish minutes, an hour before, you can send it way in advance. So that's one of the things that they're actually going to be adding, and that'll save a lot of time. I know, from doing Facebook Lives for Commexis, that a lot of the times it's very annoying to have to change the stream key every single time. If you test something or something goes wrong on your live stream, then you basically have to restart with a fresh new stream key the entire time, and that just adds more additional things to troubleshoot than just having one persistent one to be able to test with. So that's one of the really nice things that they're going to be adding. There's another example, a recent live video that was cross-posted to its pages gathered a 40% increase in retention and twice the number of interactions when compared to its other live broadcasts posted in the last 90 days. And that was once again from the World Surf League. So, I mean, I think it's one of those things where you're multiplying the likelihood of getting engagement, because we already know that Facebook Live posts are so engagement heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, the thing about Facebook Live is it's not nearly as widely used as it could and should be. And I think for that reason, the engagement that it does get seems, the numbers seem, I don't want to say inflated artificially, but they just, because there's such a small pool of people doing it, the people that are on there are very engaged and very much usually invested in the brand.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get a good metrics there, just because it's such a small sampling of people, because the majority of people that are on there are not using the service. So the ones that are, you're getting very targeted traffic.
Not to mention that Facebook is definitely, as we talked about before, pushing the service very much. So you're not just getting the smaller pool increase when we talk about statistics and stuff like that, but you're also getting Facebook very specifically pushing this service and product, which makes a lot of sense. And then finally, there's one more addition that Facebook Live is getting added to it, and it is actually for watchers. So Facebook Live is going to be getting a rewind function. Facebook is testing it. They're saying that it will be possible to rewind a live video as it is being broadcast on a page. So basically, it's the same thing as if you were watching a DVR or a YouTube Live, for example. If you've ever watched a live stream on YouTube, you can actually go back a little bit and see, and I think that that's just a nice slice of life feature in case you missed a question or you want to see something that happened a couple minutes ago that people keep talking about in the chat or whatever. Just something nice to have. I'd be interested in seeing if they ever add this probably won't happen because I think it actually makes more sense to have on Twitch, but there's a really nice feature on Twitch where you can clip a viewer can clip a certain timestamp of a live stream from a start to an end, and then they can share that link of that clip, and then eventually it expires if it's not popular enough or whatever. But that's a fun way to also share some key moments. So it'll be interesting to see what how they change it.
Seems tailor-made for Twitch anyway, because you're capturing a single moment in a game or something like that. It's perfect. So
yeah, absolutely. But I'm interested in seeing how they continue to develop Facebook Live, because I think they have the Facebook audience, which is the best thing I think going for Facebook, just because there's tons and tons of people on Facebook in comparison to all these other streams.
Right.
I mean, there's tons of people on YouTube, but how many people are watching YouTube Lives?
It's not even compared.
Yeah. So hopefully some more big changes will be coming to Facebook Live soon. But I gotta say, I'm really excited about these changes. I think they're super interesting.
Look for some more Facebook Live stuff directly from Commexis as well.
Yes, we're working on getting more Facebook Lives, getting better quality Facebook Lives in comparison to some of our others. Not that those were bad, but I'm always trying to amp up our game. I love that quality. And I'm going to look like a fool because I probably won't add a quality sticker right here while I'm doing this.
Well, you might remind yourself now to do
Oof, you're right, now that I've made a note. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast. Check us out next time for more of the latest trending news. Also, check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher, and the Apple Podcast Store to take us on the go for your ears, not your eyes. I know you're going to be missing these beautiful faces.
Wow.
But don't worry, listening to us is just as good as watching us. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.